Hello and welcome to As Someone Who Doesn't Read Comics, where we, contrary to our title, read and review comics. I'm Becca.
I'm Paul.
And I'm Brian.
This week we are reading Secret Wars, not the one currently out on the shelves in a comic book store, but the old one back from whenever it was, because I didn't research enough. So, we're reading that one.
The original
Solid.
Secret Wars.
Yes, that's one way of saying it. Is
I
it
mean,
Marvel's Superhero Secret Wars?
Not the
Is that
Marvel Now Secret Wars.
Wait, is that what it's called? Marvel Now?
well, Marvel Now is like their comic books now.
But it's also going to be Marvel Now
DC
when it's later.
Yes, so
DC
wait.
made the New 52 and Marvel was like, wait, no, we need a thing. And then they were
We
like,
need
well,
Marvel
we'll make
now.
Marvel Now. Are there new storylines? No, it's the same people, except it's just now. It's like, okay, thank you, Marvel.
So later on, somebody's going to come into your home with a magic marker and change all of the nows to later. That way they'll be all Marvel laters.
Or would it be Marvel earlier?
I think earlier.
Earlier, yes.
Right? Well, then I'd just be mad someone came into my house and wrote all my comics and not only did
Marvel
that, but wrote the
tense.
wrong thing. Marvel past tense. Like...
But not discussing the practices of naming Marvel-type comics by Marvel.
Because we'll just get more angry.
Yeah, we will. So we're reading Secret Wars, and the podcast will go as usual. We'll do a story section, we'll do an art section, and we'll do a spoiler section. Before the spoiler section, we will rate the comic real quick, so if you haven't read it and want to read it, you can do that. Yep. So, story section.
Alright. Let's get right into this. So, the Secret War, like a lot of the books that we've read from Marvel, is a crossover event. So, apparently leading up to it, the first kind of, I guess, what would it be called? Not a preamble? We'll do preamble. That sounds literary, right? Wait, or is that... It's a Constitution thing.
Prologue?
Prologue! That's the one!
But I like preamble.
Preamble.
I'm gonna make preambles to all my books.
Alright.
We, the people of
I
the
was
comic
gonna
reading
say,
America,
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. History things.
have found most of our Marvel books to be awful.
I said the wrong words. Anyway, the prologue, as I've been informed, is the way it's supposed
We
to be
hold
said.
these suits to be self-evident.
All tailors are not created equal.
With liberty and spandex for all.
Amen. What is happening? Oh, these are things I choose to say and do in my life. All right. So, long story short, I say, having not said any of the story, is we have a bunch of different characters from the Marvel Universe coming to Central Park, New York, where they're drawn to this large alien futuristic structure that Spider-Man compares to a futuristic version of Stonehenge. Not what I would have called it from the
No.
artwork. But,
Kinda looks like a giant football stadium.
yeah.
Although it's supposed to be like ginormously huge, so like think
Or
of like a
Coliseum.
really big football stadium.
Right. So we got a bunch of different Marvel heroes, and, as we learn later, Marvel villains, go to investigate this structure, but when they go in, they disappear.
And so does the structure
Yeah,
sometimes.
sometimes it also disappears. I'm not sure if that happens each time and it keeps coming back, or if it's all at once.
Did they all enter different entrances?
I don't know. They actually don't clarify. Well,
No, I don't.
they were in different books, so I just assumed each book, but it's all the same multiverse. I don't know comics. Anyway, so the structure takes them into space, where all the heroes are put into one room, and a bunch of villains are put into another. And basically you've got the introduction by this extra-dimensional being called the Beyonder, who says that they've been brought here, the villains and the heroes, to fight each other, and the winners will get, like, one wish granted for them. And it can be pretty much anything, because the Beyonder has extra-dimensional powers, which he can alter time and space and reality. So, this is the part I wrote this down, and I'm glad I did. It's a lot of characters here. I didn't know all of them, but there's some fun ones. So, on the hero side, you've got The Thing, Reed Richards, and the Human Torch from the Fantastic Four. Invisible Woman
Is invisible.
Yeah, she's not in this. She's dealing with a baby, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
It's got babies.
Got babies doing the lady thing. So you have the three of them. So Fantastic Three. You've got Spider-Man, the Hulk, who is apparently at a period of time where he's sort of in control with Dr. Banner's brain. So, like, he's not the rampaging monster Hulk, he's more intelligent Hulk. She-Hulk, who's always intelligent, and I believe a lawyer, from what I had understood.
I don't know if she is in this one, but I know she is recently.
Yeah, that's interesting.
I don't know her.
I just thought that was interesting. I'd be like, I don't know how I'd feel if I had, like, a court case against her.
Prosecutor.
Yeah. I'm like, objection.
Objection, she suplexed my client, Your Honor.
She's intimidating. Captain America. Then we've got Iron Man, who... Oh, I didn't write down the guy's name. He's not Tony Stark at this point.
Spoilers,
Rhodes,
it's not Tony
isn't he?
Stark.
Yeah, something Rhodes.
He's a war machine in the movies. Brat Rhodes. I forget what his name is. I think it starts with an R.
Yeah, Jim Rhodes. Jim Rhodes. There you go.
Sorry.
I found it. My notes just say not Tony Stark.
Great.
Good job. Captain Marvel, but not the one that we had previously done. Hawkeye, the Wasp. Then we have the X-Men, Professor X, Storm, Nightcrawler, Rogue, Cyclops, Wolverine, Colossus, a lot of X-Men.
Yeah.
Magneto's also with them on the hero side. And also Lockheed the Dragon, who is apparently a dragon that belongs to Shadowcat and has been around and is like the X-Men's pet or something.
I mean, when you can turn your body into metal and punch things, I guess dragons aren't higher in your list of unbelievable things.
I get, but to me, I was stuck on that, I'm gonna be honest. Okay, then on the other side of the room, okay, you got...
Or the other room.
Oh, the other room, sorry. That's the other force, basically. The opposing team. You have, Ultron, the killer robot, who apparently had been destroyed by this point, and is now back, because the Beyonder has extra-dimensional powers. The Absorbing Man, who appears to be able to touch rocks and become rocks. I know he's got other things, but that seems to be what he mostly does.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's a spoiler, but I didn't know who he was, so I thought it was interesting. The Enchantress, who is a Thor villain, who I believe has the power of magic, and that's magic and feminine wiles, which I believe are her powers. The Wrecker and the Wrecking Crew, which might be
They're the best.
They are the best people.
They're pretty silly.
Pile Driver, Thunderball, and Bulldozer. Also, I wrote their names down, but not
Tony Stark.
Not Tony
I feel
Stark.
like they were like, it seems so weird because like the rest of the list is like higher named. Like I know these guys; these are pretty big threats. And then the Wrecking Crew, I'm like, I don't think
The Wrecking Crew gets a lot of screen time or book time.
They do.
Yeah.
They do a lot of things, which we'll get to later.
Like,
but
they seem like just regular street thugs. Like they don't seem like.
One of them had, I didn't write it down, but I think his weapon was a super crowbar.
Yes.
Yeah, it was.
Which I was like, no, he called it a super crowbar, if I'm not mistaken.
He did.
And I'm like, well, what makes it super?
He uses it to open crates very easily.
I guess, or to smack superheroes, so it's his super crowbar. I don't know. It was fascinating. They fascinate me, and they seem very buddy-buddy. Like they actually seem to care for each other as a villainous crew. So the Wrecker and the Wrecking Crew. I spent way too much time on them. Kang,
Yeah.
who I thought at first was Krang from the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles,
But he's not.
he's not at all.
No, Kang's a Skrull, right? Or,
You've said more words.
Is
I believe so. Yes.
They only said their names. I don't
Yeah,
think
I don't know.
He's the dude in the green suit with the purple face, right?
Yes. Who?
Yeah, he's the one of the Skrulls.
Okay.
Cool. I don't know them.
I don't know anything other than he's one of the Skrulls. That's it.
Skrulls are
They're aliens?
they're aliens. They
Okay.
if you watch Guardians of the Galaxy, it's the Nova versus the Skrulls.
Oh, they are the Skrulls, aren't they?
Yes.
Yeah.
They're like the two only alien races that anybody cares about in Marvel Universe. So
All right, cool.
And
I'm
they
learning
like,
stuff.
I think their power is they can duplicate, like, copy people, like clone, sort of, or
Mimic? Is
mimic.
that the word?
Yes, that's
Okay.
the word I'm looking for.
I forget.
And then like stab you.
I have no idea because that
stabbing
that
part of
was
the power,
actually
or
funny
is
enough. Yeah, because we learned about them in Age of Ultron.
Oh, they were mentioned then.
Yeah.
They were
And then-
mentioned
yeah.
because the mimicking was mentioned in Age of Ultron.
Ah, you're right. Okay.
All right. Yeah.
So there we go. Tying things
Continuity.
together. Beautiful.
Oh, man.
I think I had a problem with them too. at that point. I still
Yes.
didn't. Okay, Skrulls.
All
I'll remember that name. I guess this sounds so much like skulls. I just keep. All right. Anyway, so you got Kang, the Lizard, Doc Ock, Doctor Doom, who always seems to show up in these things.
He's great.
I did greatly enjoy him in this book, though. Molecule Man, who has one of the most overpowered, individuals I have never heard of.
I know.
What's your power? I can control all inorganic molecules. Wait, what? Yeah, I can turn this bridge into
A banana.
a banana. And
I-
it's like,
I
Oh, wait, that's organic
no,
allied.
shoot!
I control
went-
not carbon.
Yeah, wait, what do you mean? It's like, aha, your car is now a cinder block. And it's like, well, wait, what? How does that work? Molecules! All right, science. Dr. New Lizard. Oh, and then also Galactus. Because, what? I mean,
OP much.
yeah, I was gonna say, that's let's,
Picking soccer teams. I pick God. Thank you. Okay.
well, a lot of soccer teams try to pick God, I think, if I've seen of sports.
I think
They
the
call out
Philadelphia Eagles will be drafting God as well this season.
Oh, dear.
It's the only thing that's going to help them win any games.
Are you trying
I
to
don't-
sports joke?
What is sport?
Don't do that. I don't know what you're saying.
actually really
Who are you?
For the one other person who gets that joke, high five through the internet.
Don't high five through the internet.
I mean, there's probably everybody gets it. I just don't watch sport.
I don't watch sports.
I don't sport either, but
Let's just keep saying it like that. All right.
it was news.
Yeah.
But literally. I mean, I guess maybe that's your counterbalance. You're like, okay, I'll pick Galactus. Cool. Okay, well now I need to balance out the villain team, the Wrecking Crew. Okay, that sounds.
Maybe that's why they're there. Is just because they're not really people. It does seem like, when you're, granted, you got some powerful heavy hitters there on the, and Thor. Did I mention Thor?
Yeah. I
No.
think-
Oh, I didn't mention.
No, we skipped
Oh,
Thor.
we skipped-
Thor was a
I
good
skipped
guy.
Thor and Hawkeye. I think I skipped them.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Funny enough, I
Easy
think
to
you
skip Hawkeye.
you started going into the Avengers with Hulk, even though he's technically not in the Avengers.
And
But
Captain America?
I think
feel like-
Captain
I think
America.
he's a Cap.
Oh, and what's her name? That was Captain Marvel. Who was
Captain
turning into
Marvel,
light.
you said, yeah.
Captain Marvel was okay. Yeah.
We mentioned, and
Yes.
then all the X-Men's.
Yes, I got okay. I think I only missed a couple there. All right.
Oh, Wasp. Did you mention
He
Wasp?
said Wasp.
Okay,
Yes, it was.
never mind.
All right, I think I got
There's
it.
a lot of
There's
people.
a lot of people.
There's a lot.
But I will say that there was a nice, handy expositional. Well, I guess since we're all gathered here, we should introduce ourselves. And it's like, well, thank you, comic. I needed that.
It just seems so weird because it's not even like, let's introduce. Okay, now that we're all here, let's all say our names out loud right now.
I liked it. It helped.
I liked it. It just seemed so weirdly out of place. Especially I think it's made more out of place by the panel, which I guess we'll discuss in art, but the panel is just them all standing there in a line facing me, the reader, saying their names. It's not even like they were in a circle facing each other. No, they're like, okay, let's face an indiscriminate direction, all of us stand in a line, and then we'll say our names out loud real quick.
Yeah, I think Dr. Doom's
Like,
the
even-
one who's like, whoa, what's going on?
Yeah, yeah, it's so weird. I don't know why they
Also, I have an art comment, even though we're nowhere near art, just I'll forget it. Why is Dr. Octopus wearing green like he's supposed to down here and then wearing blue up there?
I don't know.
Why is he wearing blue? I think they got confused with Galactus's foot.
I think so too.
Because that's all that you see of Galactus. Also, Galactus just stands there in the opening bit, which I think is
That's
great.
It does for everything.
Yeah.
Just,
I feel like he'd be a
this
big...
whole comic could be Galactus stands there.
Yeah.
Just literally.
Yeah, spoiler. Come on, Becca.
No, I don't think it's a spoiler, because if he did things, I think they'd all be dead. Maybe. I don't know. So, now that we've gotten that long introduction out of the way, but it needs to be done. So when I call in random people, I can be like, well, I'm referencing them now. So they're all there like, what's going on? It's almost like we're gathered to battle each other. And then the Beyonders all like, I'm making a planet because I am all powerful. It's a demonstration of my power. And apparently the planet is made of a hodgepodge of whatever is lying around the universe that the Beyonder feels like throwing into this planet. I think I can say this now. At one point we learned that one piece of it is a suburb of Denver.
Yeah,
Why a suburb of Denver?
Because no one would miss it.
That's Denver.
Except for Spider-Woman, who apparently just gets kind of drug in.
Oh yeah. Is that a spoiler?
I don't know. She's in this at some point.
Yeah, there's Spider-Woman.
There's a bunch of people.
The people just show up. Some of them. All right. So now that this has been this is not narratively done very well. But basically, they all gather together. They give a brief summary by pointing at each other. Hey, aren't you that guy who can do this power? Yes. And aren't you that guy who does that power? Yes. And I am Victor Doom because I am monologuing a ton in this book.
Apparently what Doom does.
Yeah, which I will say I enjoyed Dr. Doom in this right off the bat.
I want like Doom's like autobiography.
Probably be called
I, Victor Doom, have just constantly.
thusly written. Anyway, so of course things don't go great off the bat. All the villains start attacking everyone because they're villains. Ultron tries to murder everyone because that's what Ultron does. If you've seen the, new Avengers movie, that's basically par for the course.
Or the age of
that too. I don't know. I just was trying to keep it topical. You brought in the Eagles. I brought in topical Marvel movies. It works. And basically, as they're all fighting, Galactus is like, "Hey, you're really powerful. I'm going to take you on," and just flies out of the room ship and he's going to go punch the Beyonder in the face. Because the Beyonder is kind of like this interdimensional crack in space time.
Interdimensional butt crack.
Well, that's a nice visual. It's more of like a nebula that's shot. Anyway, point is, Galactus goes to punch him in the face, and because he's the strongest of them, and Dr. Doom's like, "Oh, I'm gonna follow, and maybe I'll be able to take the Beyonder's power." While he's
maybe I'll get the experience off of Galactus killing the Beyonder.
If I'm in the party, I get half XP. But it doesn't go well because the Beyonder is a being of, interdimensional might.
He also doesn't have a face, so.
To punch, so, yeah, kind of. So, then, just like that, they wind up on the planet's surface. Rather abruptly, in all honesty. There's a lot of racism on the hero's side, where the mutants are kind of seen as, looked down upon for being mutants, even though they all have superpowers. Which I always, I don't understand the hate.
I feel like it's self-inflicted.
I will say, yeah, they do get very standoffish.
We're mutants and you guys hate us. No, we're a team.
Yeah,
no, we're mutants. You guys hate us.
Like,
You're
I don't.
racist.
Yeah, guys, I don't know mutants. Hey, whoa, X-Men. Maybe you should, not go wandering off right off the bat. You think you can tell us what to do because we're mutants and okay, they're very standoffish, but still, there's definitely everyone.
It still seems very weird that they're like.
If all mutants acted like them, I'd be racist against them.
Yeah.
To a certain point, they do, yes, to a certain point they're standoffish, but then to a certain point it just seems weird that, some of them are weirded out by their powers, whereas, they're standing next to a giant green man who can't be killed. Why, what? What? Why would you care?
Yeah. Oh, Captain America's even though you're not fully heroes, you're mutant people, we respect you and have you on our team. What are you talking about? I trust you guys. Okay. Anyway, I'm sorry. Really off track. But, yeah. So, the heroes and villains kind of crash land on the planet's surface. The villains, of course, promptly attack the heroes. They're like, "Oh man, wish-granting powers, I totally want this." So they start attacking the heroes. It's the end of issue 1, actually, is they just attack. Things are going well for them at first because they find random alien technology scattered around the planet too, because whatever equivalent of Space Denver that they pulled some of these planet pieces from has got alien technology attached. And the Wrecking Crew, again, giving them props, get in some War of the Worlds Spider Walker and start shooting lasers at the heroes. But of course, fortunately Lockheed the Dragon's there. And, fortunately. The heroes manage to turn the tides because the villains aren't very organized. Galactus is wandering off to do his own thing.
Well, Galactus had been, punched back down to the planet without a fist and kind of landed.
Yeah, so then he doesn't actually get up. He just kind of hovers. He floats up.
I like that he does that, and I like that Dr. Doom monologues him doing it. He's like, "Oh, a being of such great power doesn't fumble getting up."
Yeah. "I see, no mere mortal forced to clamber awkwardly to his feet. He simply rises and sets himself upright. Hear me, mighty Galactus. Hear the words of Dr. Doom."
So he's the Undertaker?
Yeah.
He just kind of sits up.
Yeah. Let us take counsel. Galactus, and of course Galactus ignores him because Galactus is, a planet-eating Galactus.
Right? And just the fact that he's like, he's laying down. Oh, he seems to be stirring. It's like narrating everything. I'm like, Dr. Doom, stop.
He blinked. He blinked. I saw it.
Thusly he blinks his large eyes as he stares heavenward at the Beyonder crack. And, I should not have said Beyonder crack because you made that dirty. It wasn't, but the only other word I could come up with was peephole, and that seems somehow worse, despite it also being accurate. Anyway, so, basically, you have Dr. Doom narrating, you have Captain America narrating, and surprisingly, the Wrecking Crew loses pretty quick when the Hulk decides to punch him in the face. It's somewhere in here. Hold on, let me see if I can find. I wrote a quote that She-Hulk says, and I know it's not exactly this point, but I want to just say it. At one point, She-Hulk says, and I quote, "Wow, that was like tubular, to the max." And I said, what?
I said, this is definitely the 90s, alright.
These are things that were just said.
For no reason.
Somebody wrote that?
That's
Somebody
about as
edited
in
that?
context as it was in the book. Like, it's just like, why did you even say that?
Yeah.
Like,
So, just think about this for a second. Somebody both wrote that, and then somebody edited that.
it's like, that's fine.
And then somebody
yes.
published that. And then somebody republished that, because this is the trade that we're reading.
I mean, you don't edit it after republishing it. You just kind of like...
I feel like somebody should have fixed that somewhere along the line.
But
I
also-
blame everyone who's touched that.
I do like that She-Hulk just punches the Enchantress in the face. Maybe.
Yeah.
But anyway, so as the heroes kind of gather to regroup so they don't go chasing wildly after the villains, Captain America, in his strategic genius, says, "Let's not finish them off while they're weak." I don't know. I'm not Captain America, so maybe I don't see the strategy there. But the villains all run to a nearby structure, and Dr. Doom is like, "Aha! Welcome to my he monologues again, basically saying,
Welcome to Doom Base."
Yes, he calls it Doom Base. All right. As much as I'm complaining about a monologue, I really didn't mind. He's
just
great. Dr. Doom is great. And yeah, so it's a lot of them not getting along. In all honesty, the villain's like, "Oh, I don't want to listen to you," and Dr. Doom is like, "I am Doom, you shall obey me," and eventually they say okay.
Because not only that, then Magneto's
with the heroes.
Which makes sense if you're looking at it from the Beyonder point, because like the way that she's basically like Martin Luther King kind of his people. Well,
Malcolm
not
X.
the peaceful Malcolm X. There we
That's
go.
the one.
Yes.
The Malcolm X of the people. So it's not like he's bad. He's just that. And so they put him in with the heroes, and all the heroes are like, "He's a bad guy, whatever."
Yeah.
But I love he starts doing stuff. He starts like making his own base. And Spider-Man's like, "Oh, I better go find Magneto," and goes to like hit him, and everybody follows Spider-Man, and then he just busts out of a wall, all covered in metal. He's like, "Oh, Magneto's in there." It's like, what is this? He's like in a metal ball. He's
Oh, hey guys, Magneto.
he's just rolling away. He's like, "Magneto's in there." See you later.
Yeah, and then Magneto's like, "Psh, screw this, I don't need you guys." And then Ben Grimm, who's the Thing, suddenly turns human, which he shouldn't be able to do.
Oh, and he captures the Wasp, I think. Right? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Magneto.
The Wasp tries to follow, and then Magneto catches her in a metal ball and takes her away with him, while the rest of the Avengers and, well, I guess
Fantastic.
yeah, and the hero group goes after them. Then all of a sudden they stop because the Thing is no longer the Thing.
Just confusing.
Yes,
So
and how's that? It's a lot of stuff that.
happens
It's both a lot and nothing happening in this as I look over this again. So then we start off the third issue, with Magneto, who decides to free Wasp from the metal ball he's trapped her in so that she doesn't die. And he just kind of lounges around and basically goes on and saying, "Hey, I need to talk because we need to, figure out what we're doing here. We have a being of all power, infinite power up there. We need to discuss what we're doing. And I wanted to talk to you about it." And yeah, everyone keeps breaking
because
apart.
all the heroes are so like. I mean, I understand that Magneto is a bad guy, but you just got drugged to a planet by an all-seeing, all-knowing being, and you're like, "Well, I mean, he's killed people before, so I don't want him on my team." Like everybody's like, "No,
No murders. Yeah, they do keep bringing up the fact he's a murderer.
Yeah.
They also keep comparing a lot of people to Hitler. Can I comment on that? This book wants you to know that Adolf Hitler was a really bad egg. Like, they said, I think, I didn't write down all of them, but there were, I think, 3 different quotes in here about comparing people to Hitler or saying that Hitler was a bad person.
That's one Hitler reference for every 4 issues.
Right? Do you need that many?
I feel like you do.
This was the 80s, right? Was it?
I don't know.
90s?
I didn't look at the date.
Tubular, Paul. 90s.
Well, Fern Gully said it. That was late 80s, early 90s. Right? Whatever.
Late 80s, early 90s. Is
Okay.
somewhere in the book.
Point
We
is,
could look it up, but it's more fun to guess.
yeah, and just say different things. Also, I like there's this while they're scouting the area. The good guys are scouting the area, and there's again this is an artwork thing, but I like that Iron Man is rolling around on roller skates to survey things at super speeds.
Yep.
Like, I don't know. So
Couldn't just fly. It's all good.
yeah, so a lot of this early stuff is they're trying to figure out how they want to plan going about finishing off the villains because Captain America said, "Hey, let's wait." During this time, the X-Men, led by Professor Xavier, who can walk because reasons.
Yet again, there is a guy who can teleport to random places for no reason and is also blue with a tail. Like,
Yeah, but that's his established power.
not out of the ordinary.
Yeah, Professor X is established not to walk.
Yeah, that's what bothers me
Stop walking.
as a reader.
Wolverine's established to not die, and he dies. So
Oh,
you know, things happen.
Yeah, multiple times, I guess. But so the X-Men are talking about, oh, it's clear we're not going to fit in here, when there was really very little dialogue about them not fitting in. And they decide to go off and form their own little posse, which Spider-Man tries to warn everyone about, but then Professor Xavier literally goes into his brain and makes him forget what he was going to say, which I think is rude.
He's very rude.
It's very rude and a violation
It
of
is.
privacy, but oh, and then this part.
Yeah, and then Magneto and Wasp kissed for no reason.
yeah,
like,
there's
what the-
like-
I
I don't know, Wasps into the Silver Foxes, I
'cause
guess.
The scene ends and it's like, never mind.
Oh yeah, because they're like, the X-Men are like, we should probably,
It's-
as soon as the storm passes, there's a giant lightning storm going on that Thor's taking care of, like, we should get going. And then it cuts to Magneto and Wasp talking about,
I don't know what.
they were supposed to be talking about plans and alliances and things, and it turns into them making out, so.
It's obviously his fashion sense of red and purple.
Oh yeah, that's exactly what it is. Yeah, between that
That's
and
what the ladies like.
then it's not explained right away, but basically, meanwhile in Doom Base, which they actually do say, meanwhile in the massive fortress named Doom Base, Dr. Doom is just strolling around, and because there's alien technology everywhere, he's like, there's alien technology here. Let's take these 2 random women who we weren't introduced to yet.
So at this point,
officially.
you're like, did he make 2 women?
Yeah, because it could be.
Yeah.
It not beyond, but then we find out later, no, they're just from Denver.
It's all good.
A suburb of Denver.
Yeah, a suburb of Denver. And he turns one of them super strong into, what was her name?
Titania?
Titania?
Titania.
Where is it?
It's in the next page because I think she's like, oh, call my name.
Oh yeah, Titania.
Yeah, and then Volcana.
Yeah, Volcana. Which also confused me because I think there was a Superman character in the animated series named Volcana who also
I
shot
mean,
lava.
if you shoot lava, that's you don't have many name choices.
Yeah, well, Magmus, like Miss, like Miss, like
Magmar?
No, not Magmar. That's a Pokemon. I was gonna say Magmus, like she's a female Magmus.
But then you get confused with the magnet ladies.
Oh yeah, you're right. That sounds, especially with a lisp. I'm Magmith. What? Magmith. I'm really off topic. So yeah, and actually, I'm gonna say these 2 go along and actually have some of the most interesting character development
do.
of anyone.
Yeah.
Like they're really
The most
interesting
character out of
Like,
everybody.
They're really cool. I don't know.
I
like
want more
them.
comic book with them.
Yeah, so it's basically, it's more of the villains kind of being evil, and these 2 random women from the suburbs of Denver giving superpowers and totally just being fine with this whole thing. Like, they were pretty mellow. In the
I'm totally fine with being evil.
Yeah, maybe they were just evil people. Like, they never really say.
I would expect that out of someone from a suburb of Denver.
Right?
And we learned about Molecule Man too, because like Molecule
yeah.
Man's like been going to therapy and hasn't used his powers in forever.
because he has anger issues and he's like trying to. I'm like, oh, that's cool.
Yeah, no, it's like
the more zen he is, the less he uses his powers. Like my therapist says I shouldn't get angry because then I do. That's like, oh well. So it's nice to see the rehabilitation system in the like comic universe is actually working for a change because he seemed for a while he genuinely was, doing these. Chilling out. Dr. Doom's just like, oh, listen, man, we may come a time where we need your molecule powers. You should totally be ready to do that. So yeah. The Wrecking Crew is in prison in the hero base. Plus,
they get captured.
because they're not very good. Also, Krang. I just realized, yeah. Kang? Krang? Krang! Kang! Krang! I will do that every time. Kang. I'm trying to get it in my brain. Alright.
And the Enchantress.
And the Enchantress was in a
Healing?
rejuvenation healing thing because She-Hulk punched her in the face super hard. She-Hulk, I also like She-Hulk in this comic.
Yeah.
Even though she had that one line, which, really
Was
kind
tubular.
of irked me. I mean, I liked it, but I didn't like it. So, I don't even know where I'm going. This issue jumps around a lot. So Dr. Doom plans an assault on the hero base while the storm is just passed, because I forget who was supposed to be on watch, but they weren't on watch.
I forget.
Yeah, because Enchantress takes Thor away. Like, they just go through some portal because her power is magic, and they just leave to another part of the planet.
I think Hulk was supposed to wake up Captain America if something happened. He's like,
yeah.
or if the storm abided and
Yeah.
he didn't, because for some odd reason, even though he has Bruce Banner's brain, he's becoming less Bruce Banner.
Yeah, he's slowly slipping back into Hulk mode, so now he's not smart.
He needs smart.
He's not smart. I was trying to think if he wasn't strong either, but no, he's still strong. So they have, finally got like a big showdown after the first issue. The heroes are going away, so they have Molecule Man. Well, I love the plan of, hey, we're a bunch of supervillains that most of us are pretty intelligent. Let's throw rocks at them. like that's the Wrecking Crew throw stuff. Then Molecule Man's like, no, listen, I'm just gonna drop this mountain on them, okay? It's gonna be fine. That's what we're gonna do. And so, as the heroes are all kind of limp away, they drop a mountain on them. But
like
first,
a mountain range, not even like a mountain.
yeah, like we're talking. The Molecule Man's just like, That was a visual, but hand went up, hand went down, but mountain range, because that. And the villains are like, woo, I think we squashed them. And Dr. Doom is the only one who, he's really the only villain with any sense in this book, I'm going to be honest with you.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't know, we've dropped rocks on them before. And they've been alive, I assume. So, of course, Thor is the only one who's okay, because he was off almost kissing the Enchantress, who apparently has been trying to seduce him for a while now, I assume.
Yeah.
This is backstory, I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean,
she tried to seduce him then, so that was,
at least once. And I mean, I can see her headpiece is nice. I apparently have a thing for headpieces. I'm noticing this is all from conversations. The Scarlet Witch is at the beginning of the book too, and the headpiece thing. Anyway, I hate having to discuss combat scenes because,
pow, crash, bang.
Yeah, there's a lot of those. But basically, Dr. Doom.
Cthulhu.
Yeah, there's this whole big thing where, Kang tried to shoot Dr. Doom down at one point because he's like, well, then they'll listen to me instead. But of course, Dr. Doom survived, and so then Dr. Doom has reprogrammed Ultron and is like, oh, Ultron, kill this guy, and he does. So then Kang is dead, which is good. I don't say his name anymore.
He also shot Thor because there was a big fight, and Thor got shot.
Yeah,
by a disintegrating ray.
Yeah. Then we have this weird Magneto scene where Magneto makes he pulls at the metallic particles in the very air to make a comb for Wasp. Which I don't know why that's a necessary panel, except to show that, wow, you have insanely broken powers.
Yes.
But, yeah, and then, not surprisingly, Wasp double-crosses him. Because,
Because that brush wasn't good enough.
You might have made me a comb, but I'm not interested. And I didn't realize how ridiculous that scene was when I first read it through, but not looking at it again. That's a ridiculous scene. Because I'm paraphrasing, but that's kind of...
What happened?
Yeah, not so much. The comb isn't the focus, but I mean, it should be the focus. I'd totally keep that comb. It's probably worth something. Anyway. So the heroes are trapped. Galactus is still just standing on a mountain where he's been the whole time. The heroes are only alive because the Hulk is holding the mountain range above them, but they need to burst their way out. So
they do. Yeah,
so they break their way out in what
isn't reads like jerry rigged stuff together. He's like, man, blast.
Yeah, I'm Mr. Fantastic. I'm going to use Iron Man suit stuff and Hawkeye,
Captain Marvel
stuff,
Spider-Man's
web shooters. I'm using technology and then it does the thing. Oh, and the Human Torch's torchness.
Oh yeah, energy. Yeah, these Human Torch is an energy source. And managed to get out. So then they have Captain Marvel, who can move at the speed of light, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Zip around and kind of explore a bit, and they find this village where there's a healer named... I didn't write her name down.
It was weird. It was like Kajaz? It's so weird. Or was it...
I thought it was...
It was a weird name that there should have been a vowel between two things, and there wasn't a vowel between two.
Nope. I'll keep an eye out for it. I don't know where you guys want to stop for spoilers, but I guess
I was
I'll
gonna say,
end
because I
with
feel like, because she heals them.
Yeah, so she starts to heal them.
Thing becomes thing again.
Oh yeah.
For no reason.
Like, again, no reason whatsoever. Oh, looks like I'm the thing again.
Thanks, Ben Grimm.
Yeah.
You could have been useful, like, hours ago.
But you weren't. So...
yeah, stuff starts happening.
Yeah, then this is where... I guess I'll leave it off at this cliffhanger where things get real when Galactus brings
his homeworld
planet ship.
Tunnels of fun.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. It's this weirdest spaceship I've ever seen, and the comic started with
brings
flying
the
donut coliseum
from McDonald's.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
The Galactus meal.
Yeah, which
Bernie and Grimace are on board.
Yeah,
like
Zaji. Her name Zaji, Z-S-A-J-I. Zaji. And yeah, the healer woman alien named Zaji starts macking on the Human Torch.
They're so weird because it's like they're alien people, but they're just basically people with white hair and cat eyes. Like some Star Trek. Like,
yep.
Like we had these props laying around today. That's an alien race. Sounds good.
So that's going on, and the heroes are all freaking out because Galactus has brought his ship here, which means he's probably going to eat the planet or something.
Yeah, that's what he does.
That's kind of his shtick. So, I mean, the fact he waited 5 issues is kind of nice.
The fact that Beyonder was like, I will make a battle world. I'll have the Destroyer of Worlds come along. That won't go wrong at all.
Yeah, that seems like a fair fight. Then we get yeah, that's pretty...
We're going to start going, like, too far.
Yeah, I don't...
and we already have so much to discuss.
I know, from just this
come
alone.
up.
There's a lot in here. I am not doing
issues?
it. 12.
Oh, 12.
12 issue. Yeah, because I remember I was reading this and I was like, oh man, this is page 300 something and I'm still going. There's a lot here. Again, not a bad thing per se, just... Yeah.
There's just a lot.
There's just a lot.
This is the Energizer battery of comic books.
It just keeps going and going and going. Do we owe them money now?
Well, now that you've said the slogan, yeah.
Oh, no!
No.
What if I do another slogan? For those who think young. Is that better now? Do we balance it out?
What?
That was Pepsi back then.
Oh.
Britney Spears had a... That's how I still think Pepsi... Does Pepsi still have that slogan? I don't think they do.
I don't think so.
I want to buy...
Do they have a slogan?
The world of Coke?
No, I don't want to buy the world of Coke.
I don't know.
That's a lot of money,
Pepsi.
also. Yeah, I don't want to I don't want to buy the world anything.
So, that's a lot to discuss.
There's so much.
I mean, a lot happens. I mean, it reads well. I know I'm not summarizing it well, because a lot of it's monologuing what's happening. But, it's Dr. Doom monologuing, which makes it better.
Yeah. I feel like I said a lot of the stuff that I was saying while we were going through. So.
Yeah, we did kind of go through. One of the things that was really annoying, Dr. Doom is like, hey, evil people, we need to work together. We need to fight the Beyonder and Galactus. These are problems that we're having. And they go, nah, we want to just fight people and do things and fuck bitches, get money. And then Dr. Doom's like, no, then I will leave and I will grab the heroes and they will tell me what's going on and they will be able to help me with this. And that's when Kang shoots him down in his spaceship and he lands in front of the superheroes. And he's like, superheroes, listen to me. Wait, no, you'll never listen to me. I'm going to attack you now. And he doesn't even get to the point where he gives them a chance to explain what he was trying to explain to them.
Well, I feel like the heroes also kind of attacked him as well.
Yeah.
No, they stood there and Captain America's like, wait, he's trying to talk to us. What's going on here? What's up, Dr. Doom?
I'm gonna
You just
look
crashed
this
out of
up.
a spaceship.
Yeah, no, I want to look this up because I feel like...
I mean, the heroes were kind of trigger happy, even to each other at this.
Yeah, everybody's really trigger happy and everybody's really jumpy. There's no escalation to upset.
Which, I mean, when there's a bunch of dirty mutants around, I fully... I'm sorry. I don't know. Apparently we're supposed to be upset and prejudiced against them.
Yeah. Also, what's really cool is when Dr. Doom...
No, literally, he's just like, no, you wouldn't understand.
and then attacks. I told you. He doesn't even try and explain it. Because he goes, Reed Richards, he'll figure it out. I'll be able to talk to him. And then lands there and goes, you'll never understand this. I'm going to shoot you now.
It's great.
Yeah. I still like Dr. Doom, though.
I liked his logic in that, because his logic was, well, obviously this being has no real reason for us to do that, to do this, to have a battle, and nothing's at risk except for us. Why is he doing this? You're like, I'm going to be better than this, and not fight. I'm not his plaything.
And then
I
he
was
lands
like, that's cool.
and is immediately his plaything and fight.
Yeah, like, that's cool, and then, yeah, he just fights. I'm like, well,
I also like, Volcana and Titania, when they show up and Dr. Doom's like, other villains, look! More villains! One of the guys is like, where'd they come from? Did Dr. Doom create them? I wouldn't put it past him.
And that's that.
Yeah, and they just accept it.
Yeah, I mean, granted, like, the whole them being from Denver thing doesn't come up for another, 2 issues. Like, they do eventually get backstory, but not right away when you really want it.
Yeah, you go, who are these people? Why are they here?
I mean, they're cool. I mean, I think Dr. Doom could have done better than making another super strong person when you already got a couple of them, but I don't know. I guess if you're planning to eventually attack an interdimensional being and or Galactus or heroes.
Maybe somebody who's smart.
Yeah.
Or somebody who could have just cooked for everybody.
Whoa, because they're women, Brian? Come on, we are past this.
He could have made anybody to cook for them. Or, clean up after their
mess.
mess.
They had food. There was alien technology. They just did whatever. Also, screw the Beyonder. He can clean his own messes. He bought me here.
He can put all these pieces back later. I'm not doing it for him.
I don't know. I think that's all my plot hole complaints. How about you guys?
I guess the Dr. Doom attacking everyone, I just thought it's because he's egomaniacal and realized, no, I'm the only one smart enough to deal with this. And that's why he did it, but
I like that, Dr. Doom and Reed Richards are, somehow... They have a weird connection like that. Dr. Doom's like, no, I can go talk to Reed Richards, my arch nemesis. He'll understand.
He understands me. I'm like, you people.
He would have.
But I mean,
I feel like we wouldn't have 3/4 of this book if those two would have just talked.
Yeah, well, that would then get rid of most of this book.
I understand that. But why even put that in there?
Because he wrote it and then realized, this would make this book a lot shorter. Did we say who wrote it?
What?
No, we didn't.
Who wrote this?
Oh, no, we didn't. Who did? Who did?
That's your job, Becca.
My job is to poorly convey the events.
And I'm comic relief.
No,
I don't. I knew it was in here. Where did it go? Oh, there it is. Written by Jim Shooter. That's actually a really easy name to pronounce.
Oh, yeah, it's even written Shooter. Actually, as it sounds.
Not like shoot her, the Jurassic Park. No, this is shooter,
Clever
eye
girl.
shot. Yes, I am the shooter. Yep.
Yeah, alright.
Do we have anything else to mention about story?
Not really.
I think we touched on most of it.
Okay.
Art.
Yeah, art, because I was going to say, because I'm at the page that tells me who the artists are.
That's good. Let's do it.
Artists are Mike Zeck and Bob Layton. Yeah, it's cool. I've also got... There's a lot of names is basically the point. Because there's inkers, and there's John Beatty with Jack Abel and Mike Espes... I don't know how to pronounce the name.
Oh, Esposito. I know that name.
Esposito.
Why do I know that name?
I don't know. It's Esposito, apparently. Christy Shelley, I want to say it is, but it could be different. Neil Yomtov could be, or colorist. What?
I mean, I would have pronounced it Shield, but I could be wrong.
It's Schele. I don't know. Doesn't matter.
Shele.
They colored things. It's very colorful.
It is.
So they do a good job, whoever they are.
Except for Dr. Octopus's blue shirt.
You messed up.
Done goofed. No, I'm sorry.
No, done goofed. Done goofed is the correct term. Don't be sorry. They should be sorry for their done goofed.
The letterer is Joe Rosen, doesn't matter. Tom DeFalco is also for blame on editing, because he's the editor, so that She-Hulk thing got by him.
So the whole...
So
wow,
Jim Shooter and Tom DeFalco.
That was like Tubular, to the max.
They were like, that's good.
That is what the kids are saying these days.
Also, the cover artist, I don't know if you pick up the collection, but the cover artist is Alex Ross, which is, I'm 90% certain he didn't do the original one, but he does nice art. I like it. So the collection cover is done by Alex Ross.
Very sunsetty.
Yep. That's my thing.
Yeah.
Art.
Yeah, art. So, art. I liked it. It was bright, it was colorful. It's got a, Watchmen. So we read something else. Infinity Gauntlet was also bright and colorful, like this kind of.
Yeah, it had a similar style to that. Yeah, I mean, the faces were expressive. I could tell who the people were, even in, when they made them. A lot of people to fit on these panels. Even when there was a bunch of them in the panels, they had little faces and things. So, I mean,
Some of them were a little stupid if they were far in the background, but...
Well, yeah, but you kind of have to do... You're giving up detail for...
Yeah.
I
for
thought
distance,
which it was fine.
Other than that, did the job.
I know this isn't, this particular artist thing, but I hate in Iron Man comics when they do, close-up on Iron Man in his suit and his eyes shine through, the armor, even though the eye slits are very... It's very weird looking, to my point, is having these eyeballs come through the Iron Man suit. I don't like it.
Yeah, no, I should... Yeah, agreed.
It just looks weird.
That's just a Marvel thing in general.
Doesn't look too terrible on Doom, but
It's because Doom is pretty awesome.
it's just awesome.
I greatly enjoy Dr. Doom.
Yeah. I really love Galactus's eyes. I don't know if... Because he's got black eye with white color and then a black pupil again, so I don't know, it just looks cool. I like the way it looks.
He's got big black eyes, like a doll's eye.
If dolls were,
planet-eating monsters.
tall.
But, yeah, no, I don't have a ton to say, because it was good, so, I mean, it looks like the time period, which we can't seem to nail down precisely, but it does look like,
Yeah.
I don't have anything
I
bad
think
to say
it's more
about
fun to
it.
not actually look up the time period now.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, considering the color of most people's skin are, green and purple and more green and lizard.
And Lizard, who just is green.
Speaking of which, Lizard was in the
Oh,
beginning.
that's right.
He runs off.
He runs away. It's like, oh, okay, bye, Lizard.
See you later.
Yeah.
Nobody cared either. Dr. Doom runs away, they shoot him. Lizard runs away, and they're just like, oh, see the lizard.
I guess we lost that mutant lizard. Good, no dirty mutants on our team. I mean, he's a genetic abomination as opposed to a mutant. But
Get it right. Don't lump him in with those mutants.
yeah. Yeah, a really short art section, but I
seriously, the whole time they're just like, you wouldn't understand, you're not a mutant. It's like, I have superhuman strength and throw a shield for a living. Like, how do you think I wouldn't understand?
Yeah, their angstiness bothered me.
Yeah, Storm also had something going on. She was having power control issues. Like she said, well, Professor, I lead them in the team, in the field, and you just kind of mentor.
But now I have legs, so I can do both.
I mean, I guess, but I'm Storm, and I apparently have been leading the team for a while.
Although at the same time, apparently everybody was complaining that Xavier was, like, power-hungry and weird and, like...
Yeah.
I don't know, whatever.
There's a lot of infighting going on there.
Really, honestly, the ability to tell people commands without yelling at them seems like a very useful power for commanding people. Like, I'm just saying. You know? Also, good on Storm on being the leader of the X-Men. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
It's usually Cyclops. Good on you.
It's good to see Storm taking the reins there.
Should we just jump into spoilers? Or wait, no, we gotta rate it.
I like her mohawk, too. I'm loving cause she changed, I think she changed recently to the mohawk in this series.
Okay, yeah, I was gonna say, it was definitely not the flowing white that I know from, like, the 90s cartoon.
Yeah. She's
So-
got an awesome flowing white mohawk now.
Which is cool.
Super cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's just, I also love that whenever they have to run somewhere, like, there's just a system of carrying people, because not everybody flies. It's like, whatever. Yep, okay, I don't know. I think that's all I had to mention.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
I think, I guess we should go our midway rating.
Yes.
Yes.
What are we rating?
What we reviewed.
No,
are we
what was our
making
scale?
It's 5 something.
You are not
somethings.
helpful. Yeah. Okay, we're using some things. I feel like with all the characters we have. Oh, can we use can the final scale be suburbs of Denver? I give this.
Darn it!
5 convenient alien bases out of...
Well, yes.
Oh, we have a lot
do
to
that
choose
again.
from. All right.
I'm really mad you took the suburbs of Denver because I was holding that.
Oh,
But
well, you
there's
should
only
have
one
said it into a
suburb of
microphone.
Denver on
Yeah.
there. No, I'm just kidding. I don't care.
Actually, 3 alien bases.
You're up, Becca. Go ahead.
Well, there was more than...
I don't know.
I'm fairly sure there was more, because they were like, well, there's another... Like, Doom destroyed his. He went to another one. This is Doom base.
I love Dr. Doom in this book. No, you wouldn't understand me. Boom. New place. This is Doom base. We're all going to go and be Doom people. It's going to be great. Doom.
Nobody wants to follow my team, I'll make people. So good.
I will say, between this and the Infinity Gauntlet, I've grown to really like Dr. Doom.
Oh, yeah. We had to read Fantastic Four.
Yeah, that'd be something.
Oh, geez, I'm yawning. Fantastic Four with him in a minute. I'm trying to think of what... I mean, if I had to put it out of 5, I'm always so good. I'm always so, like... I give people lots of points. I'm probably gonna give it a 4, because the comic... Even to this point, the comic seems to go on for too long. Like, it's just like, wow, like Paul was saying, there's nothing going on but everything going on all at once in each issue. So it's a little weird, but at the same time, it's got that kooky, funny, like for as much as I didn't like Maximum Carnage, it was just fun to talk about, and it's fun to read. But just don't read it all at once, because it's a lot of books. So I'd say 4 convenient alien bases out of 5.
Okay. Sounds good. Let's see, I'm trying to think. Up to the point that we left off on, I kept going up until this point. I went from really liking it to then kind of being like it was drawn out too long, then liking it, and then it was drawn out too long. So, I'm going to say at the halfway point, I would probably give it 3 stolen suburbs of Denver out of 5. Simply because of where we left off. I'm going to be honest, my review will change probably after the spoiler section. But that's where I'm going to leave it now. Yes.
Yeah. As of this point, I really liked it. I thought everything was going at a nice, quick, jumping pace. I thought I was way farther into this book at this point when I was reading it. And then looked at how much I had left and went, oh god, there's still a lot left. But,
what can you even do with this much space?
Yeah. But up until this point, I'd have to give it 4 convenient character introductions out of 5.
There you go. I like it.
Out of 20 million. Sorry, there was just so many. It was like...
There are.
Yeah.
It's
Oh,
like,
that's right,
hey,
there's
where
more
were you? Oh, I was in that suburb of Denver. Where were you? I was in the swamp. Where were you? I was off in space.
Yeah, Beyonder didn't take all this into account, I'd imagine. Or maybe he did. I don't
So
know.
there was another thing. I like how, like Spider-Man and the Fantastic Four walked into the base of their own volition, technically, even though it was, like, magical and drew them in. But then it was just like the rest of them were like, I appeared here. Sounds good. Like,
Especially the villains.
convenient.
The villains all seem to, like, show up. Like, Ultron was literally remade from disintegration and just came back. So, like...
I just feel like at some point, like, some people were like, it's just gonna take too long for us to describe every single person going, hey, look at this giant thing in Central Park. Why is this here? This gateway looks like I should walk through it. Walks through, disappears over and over again for 20 people.
I don't feel like Galactus fits.
Yeah, well, I don't know where he showed up.
I know I can't fit in there, but I really want to go through that gateway.
Let me put my head in and see if maybe.
Maybe he was just in that sector of space, and then the things formed around them. He was like, what's this? Okay, I'll just keep standing here.
Because that's apparently what I do most of the time.
Alright.
The whole time, he just stands there.
Yeah, I will say.
Gets up conveniently.
Takes him 5 issues to do anything after his initial assault on the Beyonder.
But yeah.
Alright.
Spoilers.
Spoilers!
Spoilers.
Spoiler.
Spoilers.
Batman can get rid of a bomb.
It's so bad.
So
I like it.
It's a pretty good spoiler.
Got to hold that bomb. That was at a comic convention. Yeah. My dad was like, we should go to this comic convention. And I said, okay.
Side note, I was really disappointed in The Dark Knight Rises. The one thing that it could have done to redeem itself. Sometimes you can't get rid of a bomb reference. Didn't make it.
Sometimes it's as easy as giving a boy who's lost everything a cloak. And now I gotta go rid of this bomb. I don't know. That's my...
We're getting into so many arguments about Dark Knight. I'm not even gonna...
I'm not really arguing. I'm just gonna...
I'm just saying I'm gonna get into arguments about it if you bring up bombs that are nuclear and
how
over
it shouldn't
waterways.
work. Yeah, I was gonna say...
How
does Batman get
more
from
people?
fucking wherever that pit hole was to Gotham in 5 seconds? Never mind.
Because I'm Batman.
That's another
Because I'm
podcast
Batman.
you can request.
Cool. We should just do...
He is someone who hates The Dark Knight Rises podcast.
That
I didn't hate it, it just had plot holes.
I didn't like it.
I didn't like it either.
My favorite part
That's
was
your bonus review.
my favorite part was when Bane punched a wall and it broke. I literally in the theater went, yeah! And like that was the main thing. Like Bane just punched a wall and it broke. And I'm like, cause he's strong! And that's his thing! And the wall broke. I'm sorry, we're off topic now. I blame Brian.
So, after the spoiler section, fighting happens and more fighting happens, and then because Galactus summoned his planet McDonald's
Tubes.
and everybody's like, well, that's a threat. We should probably do something about that. And then I guess Galactus started building like a planet-eating device, which I didn't know he needed, but apparently he needs it. So everybody's like, let's probably do that. And Doom's like, let's go into a ship. That seems like a good idea. So he goes into a ship, and then everybody's trying to stop Galactus.
Except for Dr. Doom, who's
Except for Dr. Doom.
sneaking onto the tunnels of fun tubes, trying
And
to...
then, how did he get, Klaw? I forget where Klaw came from.
Yeah.
Klaw was absorbed as pure energy and absorbed by Galactus.
Yeah, apparently there's a character named Klaw who is insane and also is a physical... he is
He's
a physical
solid
embodiment.
sound.
Yeah. And so somehow got absorbed into Galactus's ship.
And then Doom let him out, so then he just follows Doom the whole time.
Going, I'm gonna follow Doom, boom, 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 because I like sound, down, 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 and I repeat myself, elf, 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 and if I were Dr. Doom, 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 I would shoot him. You know?
I feel like
loved
he's
him.
the perfect counterpart to Dr. Doom, though. He's the only one who Doom could monologue to and wouldn't get upset or cranky by
But
it.
I love-
And he doesn't, and he's great.
He's like the Pinky to Pinky in the brain, basically.
Yes,
but-
that is exactly what that dynamic is, and it's great.
He was so great, though, because he was great, because, Dr. Doom's like, well, let me get you up to, where we're doing. Some being might give us our greatest wish, because, whatever. And Claw's like, I'm the happiest I could be, I'm solid sound. I'm like, what does that even, what? But he's just this happy guy, because he's solid sound for some odd reason. He's just like, nope, this is my dream, I'm living it right now. While you chop me up into pieces and use my solid sound to
Make lenses?
make lenses that then take the power from Galactus and do makes no sense. But
There was a
Klaw
lot
is so
happening.
and then he becomes a decapitated head that just sits there and makes reverbs of himself.
Wow, 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 wow. I was like, what are you... I'm sorry, he kind of... Maybe it's because I had no idea who he was, but he just started to irk me.
I just love all of it, because every time any stance he does is not, like, he doesn't stand like a normal person, he's just waving his arms around random places. And he's got, like, a sonar dish on one of his hands, he doesn't even have a hand, it's just, like, this dish thing.
In a weird, creepy, weird, odd way, he reminds me of Jar Jar Binks.
Also, no, not even close.
Except he's not annoying. He's
not
annoying,
even close.
but not annoying?
He wasn't annoying to me. Also, secondly, fifthly, whatever, who was like, oh man, that man's made out of solid sound and shoots sound waves and repeats sounds. Klaw. Like, who? With a K, by the way.
Yeah.
Like, who was like, yeah, that's a solid name. Like, what?
Yeah, actually, I didn't even think about that point. Yeah, is he a pun? Is there a sound pun that we don't get?
I don't know.
Get it. Whatever.
I kind of want to look that up.
I liked him. He literally just followed around Doom and did whatever he said. He was like, whatever. I don't care. I'm living the dream. Like, oh my god, it was fun.
Okay.
I don't know. Lizard came back. Lizard was in a swamp because he was like, screw this. I don't like standing on a planet. And then Wasp found him and helped him. So he was like, I like you. For no reason. Yay!
Yeah, pretty much. And then Wasp, that whole thing's going down. You've also got, we learn a little bit, this is where we officially learn that Volcana and Titania are from the suburb of Denver. And Volcana has, like, this weird crush on Molecule Man, which was interesting. Like, I was like, she had some cool character development going on. Like, those scenes were interesting.
And Titania was obviously picked on as a child or something?
Because she's like super power hungry right now, that she's got her powers.
She's like, come on, fight me. Let's go.
Fight me, let's go.
Come at me, bro. Yeah.
That's why Molecule Man threw a mountain, because, like, the Avengers get away, or the heroes get away, and they're, like, on the other side of a lake or something. They're like, no, we're far enough away. And she's like, no! And she, like, throws a chunk of the base at them. Like, this giant piece, she's just like, no, you're not going to
and then Molecule Man's like, I'm gonna one-up you here. Mountain.
Yeah.
Well, that's when, like, the Wrecking Crew are like, well, then we'll just throw rocks. And then Molecule Man's like, this is obviously not doing anything, we're gonna throw
a big rock, we're gonna do this. We're doing it right.
Oh my god.
People who live in glass alien bases shouldn't throw rocks.
Yeah.
Also, I like there was a scene after Spider-Man, after the mountain, and Mr. Fantastic took his, web slingers, and he's talking to Hawkeye because Hawkeye's making arrows, and like, Spider-Man's like, man, I feel like you now, Hawkeye, because I don't got my web slingers anymore. And Hawkeye's like, you're absolutely nothing like me. You have super strength still. What the
super strength and speed and can stick to walls.
You have a sense that tells you when something bad's gonna... I'm literally on a planet full of superheroes, and mutants, and villains, and I have a bow and arrow.
And I'm out of arrows. So if you'll excuse me, I'm gonna go to sharpening this stick, because I need arrows.
Sorry, it struck me. It was like one panel, but it struck me as like, wow, that's great.
Yeah, no, it is. I like that scene.
And with all the high-tech equipment around, he never gets any more arrows.
No.
Although, they do find a machine that repairs, clothing.
In which Spider-Man uses the wrong one.
And gets the black suit.
Yeah.
Like,
I think it eventually turns into Venom. I think that's like where it happens, but it's just it's so stupid.
Yeah.
Also, Spider-Woman appeared at some point in here. I forget when she did. She literally just popped out of the shadows like, hey, I'm Spider-Woman. And Spider-Man's like, hey, I'm Spider-Man. It's not fair.
You took my spider stick.
I didn't copyright that, but you still took it. She's there. That's how Denver works.
Yeah, I don't even know what her deal was, why she really was there.
I don't know. She literally just came out of the shadows and was like, hey, guys.
You looking for another superhero?
Another web slinger?
Yeah. I hear the villain's got some guy who's living sound now. You want another spider person?
They also made 2 females. Whatever.
Need to up the lady count on your side?
Wasp gets shot for some odd reason, and Lizard's really mad about it. That's when Spider-Woman comes in. It's just like, the thing ends and it's like, who's this person lurking in the shadows? And the next issue's like, it's Spider-Woman.
Who's that Pokemon? It's Spider-Woman! It's like literally that kind of cut.
It's just like, well, I can do stuff. Okay, she's on the team. Sounds great.
Yeah, I like how they trusted her more than the X-Men, and they didn't even know who she was.
She could be a mutant, she could just be like, no, I'm a spider person.
No, if she was a mutant, they'd hate her.
Oh, I see. Science accident? Oh, science accident. Okay, cool. Welcome aboard.
Sounds-
What's that? Biology? No. Get out of here. Your genetics betrayed? No.
I was born this way.
Too bad, Lady Gaga. Get out of here. So
I don't know. Galactus is still making his thing, and everybody's angry about it. The villains I don't know what they're doing. They're doing stuff.
the Absorbing Man lost his arm in the conflict with, I think, Wolverine at one point.
But apparently, if it's just rock, and he turns back to a person and holds his hand up to himself, he's good.
Which I thought was cool.
I thought it was cool, although it begs to question what would happen if he didn't hold it up to him.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, I can guess, and it's
Also-
probably gross.
also, Wolverine has 3 claws. How did he cut one, slice? Whatever. So, Ultron just sitting there with his arms crossed on control. He's like, whatever.
Yeah.
This is me.
Ultron just protects Doom. Oh, yeah.
I forget, what did Doom do to get... Oh, when he went to Galactus' ship, and then Galactus' ship just shot him out, and then Doom's like, never mind.
I'll just go back to Doom Base, which I named Doom Base.
And lay down for the rest of the issue.
I'll pick up with the rest of my Doom plot later.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, I don't know. And then they do stuff.
It's a lot of the heroes attack the villains attack the heroes. Galactus occasionally makes them work together, but not for very long.
Galactus is still standing there. Okay. It's like, that's all. That's all it
Yeah,
does.
the rest of the book just kind of meanders between them fighting each other for a couple of times. And then
Up until Doom uses Klaw as the things to get Galactus'... Because Galactus tries to get the planet's power. Doesn't do that, so he goes to his ship, which, since it's a world, even though it's a Tunnels of Fun, he absorbs it.
Yeah, so
as if it was a planet.
Yeah, so he starts to melt it down into energy or something. That's when Doom's like, "Oh man, I'm firing my claw laser lenses," and steals it from him.
Yeah, and he steals it, so then he becomes an omniscient being, which seems weird because I feel like just eating a lot of food does not make you omniscient.
I don't know. If you've ever seen the people at Golden Corral.
They've seen their own heart attacks.
Oh.
But no,
Don't joke about that. That's horrifying. No.
That happens, and then even though Galactus could punch the Beyonder in the face, then Doom punches the Beyonder in the face, and then becomes even more powerful, because obviously that's what happens when you kill the all-knowing thing.
Oh yeah, he had his scans from the very first issue where he was with the Beyonder. He made some device that if he got close enough to the Beyonder, he could take his power or something.
He used the alien technology, which I feel like is a...
Deus Ex Machina, yeah.
The Beyonder probably shouldn't have put that on the planet.
Quite as much of it. I don't know where he's getting it from either.
So then he gets all the power, so now it's everybody against Doom. For no real reason. Molecule Man decides to take Denver back, because he's just like, I don't feel like being here anymore.
And so, yeah, just
takes Denver out of the planet.
just flies it back towards Earth with the villains.
Assuming they know where Earth is.
Yeah, I mean, Doc Ock mentions that. And then he kind of freaks out. But...
And then... then the heroes are meeting up, and they've teamed up with the X-Men again. And they're all sitting there going like, well, we should all go against Doom, because Doom can't have all that power because he's Doom. And then they're like, we better think of this fast, because then Doom could just send over a lightning bolt and kill us all. He sends over a lightning bolt and kills everybody.
Oh yeah, the Captain was like, listen, it has to be unanimous, because there's a good chance Doom could just snap his fingers and kill us all. So, let's all agree that this is what we have to do.
And literally that second, lightning bolt all dead.
As soon as they're like, Colossus, I think is the last one, is like, you know what guys, I think we should definitely do everyone's dead.
Which is great. So everybody's dead. Doom's in his thing going like, boop, 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 boop. You learn that there's some power controlling Klaw. It had been controlling some others, but it's like some,
energy
power, but
thing.
it's like the Beyonder's,
Spirit
I don't
or
know,
something.
whatever.
Remnant.
Trying to get back to his power.
And Klaw, Doom doesn't see through this, but Klaw, who has been sitting there going like, Doom, 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 and all these other things, goes like, well, they could, it's just possible that they lived. I mean, if the Hulk lived and then he took Reed Richards into the healing thing, and then Reed Richards created a thing that then brings all their molecules back together, then they could possibly all live and then attack you again. I don't know. This seems like a weird plan. And I'm like,
Oh,
and
yeah.
Dr. Doom's like,
Yeah.
that sounds like a solid, yeah, I agree. Like, he doesn't
And
That happened, didn't it?
because Klaw put it in his brain, and Dr. Doom was all powerful, and Dr. Doom became paranoid about it. He willed that to happen.
He willed them to be alive, but it was just so silly that, like, Klaw, like, starts making complete sentences, and Doom's like, this isn't suspicious at all. Like, no, this is what you're like the whole time that I've been with you, while you also flail your arms again.
Yeah, energy
Like,
dish.
spinning around and doing so. Oh my gosh. Yeah, like, yeah, for some odd reason,
Can
like,
Klaw show up in the next movie?
oh my god.
Please?
All right.
Please? I want to know who gets cast as
But I
Klaw.
want Doom.
I want,
But we can't.
What's the
because
guy who does
Fantastic Four.
Gollum?
Yeah.
What's the guy's name who does Gollum?
Andy Serkis?
I want him
Oh.
to be Klaw.
He would do a good Klaw.
Yeah, actually. Yeah, he totally could. Actually.
Andy Serkis, if you're listening to this, please picture the idea of bringing Klaw.
Dude, if you can get Andy Serkis to I mean, Andy Serkis has already been someone in the Marvel
Oh
universe.
yeah,
so-
wasn't he the new?
He was
the guy at the thing.
who got his arm cut off.
Yeah.
Oh, wait! Maybe his arm gets cut off, and then he gets,
Turns
like, a
into
radial
solid
dish, and he puts the dish on it, and then becomes solid sound because he's insane because of the metal that he's extracting from the... I call it! It's set!
Oh, please.
Oh, that'd be
I'll go
awesome.
see this now.
That'd be great. Oh my gosh, can you imagine that?
It's funny because I looked at him in the movie and I went, I know who you are, and then you mentioned it was Andy Serkis. I'm like, oh yeah, that is. No,
Doom.
What happened? So then, so Doom, like, is so powerful that if he thinks of something, or, like, you know, just kind of, like, maybe this, like,
It could
I wonder
happen.
what happened if a dolphin burst in the door, like, a dolphin would burst in the door because he just wills it to happen. So, like, since he put the idea in, he forms him again, which then forms this thing, because, like, Captain America comes to beat him up, and he, like, kills him, and then he forms again, and then he kills him, and he forms again, and I was like, what's going on?
Yeah, there's a lot of things happening. I did like that, though. Like, I liked the idea. It's kind of like what I liked about the Infinity Gauntlet, where, where Nebula briefly had it,
Yeah.
and she, like, things like she couldn't handle it, and I liked that aspect.
And then the fact that Doom is slightly smarter makes
Yeah.
it, you know, like, he is a very intelligent human being, metal masked man.
Although we learn if it's possible, I didn't think it was possible, but Doctor Doom almost has too many origin stories going on simultaneously. Like, my mother was a gypsy, and her soul might be in hell, and I need to...
guarded by Mephisto, who just magically shows up.
Oh yeah, who we know from the Infinity
You called
Gauntlet. Yeah, who Mephisto has, you know, her soul, and I need to get her soul back, but also I was horribly scarred in an accident in trying to do that, and now I need to do this, but also I am a ruler of a country. Like, what are you doing? No wonder you monologue to yourself. You have so many things
To monologue about.
your life is so fascinating. Like, I get it now, Dr. Doom.
I want to know more.
I wonder if the Secret War was the one inside Dr. Doom's mind.
Maybe the secret war is in us all along.
I forget how this ends, because it ends in such a silly way, like...
The Beyonder takes the power back from Doom and kills Doom, and then everybody leaves and says, alright, we're just gonna go home now.
Beyonder just leaves them alone, and they're just like, well, I guess we should just go back.
Yeah.
Like we could have done all along. Because it was just in this remote control that I have.
That
like,
Reed
what?
Richards had, yeah. Oh, except Ben Grimm doesn't until he figures out why he's transforming back and forth.
Yeah.
Which, to me, is a weird decision.
Especially since I feel like, I mean, the chances of that planet staying together are very slim.
Yeah.
Especially with the missing piece of Denver.
Yeah.
Also, it's right next to the Beyonder who wills things in and out of existence, so I mean, I really feel like you could just be like, I'll come back with you, also now I'm gonna go on vacation somewhere, but whatever.
Yeah.
Ben Grimm, you do what you want to do.
Now, also, Lockheed the Dragon gets a dragon friend.
Oh yeah, because he went missing in the beginning.
Oh, yeah. Oh, look! Looks like he picked up some female dragon this whole time.
I love how, like, because Doom becomes omniscient and has all the powers and everybody, and he's like, you know, thank you everybody for being here. It was a good time. I'll grant you a wish for your troubles. And everybody's like, yeah, what should we get? And like, Colossus brings up and he's like, maybe we should see if we get the dragon back. Everybody's like, no, we don't want anything. I'm like, no, but the dragon's been missing the whole time! And Kitty will be so mad about you missing it.
Especially since, there's this whole romantic subplot where Colossus is like, Man, I really like that cat-eyed chick.
This is Johnny. Like, apparently if she heals somebody to a certain degree, they fall in love with her or something. Because, like, yeah, Johnny, I don't know what.
Johnny Storm was just kind of like...
Playboying
with her. But she was digging it.
Because, like, Klaus is like, oh, so Johnny's dying. And she's like, yo, dude, like, there's a ton of people dying right here. I'm not gonna leave them. It's like, that was kind of logical. But then the dragon comes back. But it was just, Doom was like, I'll grant you a wish. There was no badness to come with it. Like, Doom was literally like, I'll grant you a wish. You could have wished for the dragon back. Like, that didn't seem mean.
But they didn't need to.
Or to not be on the planet anymore. Can I go home? Thank you. Like,
can none of this have ever happened?
Like, done.
I don't know.
I don't know.
It was a weird
and that
ending.
was Secret Wars.
Yeah, God.
Yeah, because they just transport back after...
See it? I don't remember. Like, that can't just be it, but that's what I remember happening.
That's exactly what happened. Because I remember being really upset at the ending.
It's just literally... Because, like, the Beyonder doesn't care anymore. They just go back and
also, the
Bendberg's
Beyonder doesn't send them a wish anymore.
No.
They don't get that wish. He lied. I'm glad Doom attacked him.
Technically, nobody actually won.
Well, what happened to all the villains?
They left. Molecule Man was like,
Molecule Man's still taking Denver back.
Because they were all living... I love the idea that they're on an alien planet.
Living in an apartment.
That they just went, and Volcano's like, oh, well, I lived in that city piece that's over there. You guys want to come over? We can, like, hang out? Because she's, like, totally hot for Molecule Man.
Apparently.
And so it's like, okay, cool.
And I like that, like, Molecule Man's like, no, we'll get us back in time. And I think, like, Dr. Octopus brings it up, and he's like, I don't care if you're moving at the speed of light. We're 85 billion light years away from home. Moving at the speed of light, it takes us 85 billion years to get home. You're not moving fast enough. And then it just ends there. Like, what?
That's true. Do they?
Yeah, I kind of want to know what happens after that.
Oh, and the lizard is freaking out. Doesn't want to
no
be
swamp.
there. No one wants to be there. The Enchantress decides she wants out and like starts trying to steal the life force from Volcana because she'd made a deal earlier that she would teleport Volcana to where Molecule Man was, only if, you know, she promised her a favor later, and the favor was basically, I'm gonna kill you.
And then as a god lady thing, she just gets her face scratched by Lizard. Like, I feel like she's slightly more hardy than that. Like, Thor can get punched around, but whatever. She gets her face scratched, and she's like, my face, I'm ruined. She has to go get her healed. It's so stupid.
I do like her, though. Even though
I liked her. It was just such a weird...
Yeah, it wasn't the strongest ending for that character, but...
No.
I like the Enchantress. I like Dr. Doom. Yeah, it is just how it ends, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm flipping through and I'm like, oh yeah.
It's like there has to be an ending in here somewhere. Nope.
And then before they go to their Hulk breaks his leg, which is, I thought, impossible, but I guess not. Whatever. And then they're in the base, and, like, everybody's like, I'm gonna get my costume fixed. And then Spider-Man's like, that's not where I got my costume. He's like, do your costumes respond to your every whim? No, they don't, Spider-Man. I don't know why you'd ask that.
Maybe
that's
take
weird.
This off. Nah.
I do like it. And this whole big thing is, now I don't have to take my mask off to eat, is literally something he says at one point. Like
at one point, and he's like, this costume does whatever I think it wants to do. Like, when it's summer, I can have shorts and a t-shirt. I'm like, is that really a problem? Like, what?
You live in New York, where there's like boutiques on like every store for like $5 touristy shirts. I think you're fine.
Like, did you really need shorts and a t-shirt or whatever?
Yeah, I don't
It was
know.
very silly.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. There's not a lot.
There's not a lot of explaining, no. It just ends. It's like Dr. Doom's destroyed and then the Beyonder doesn't care anymore, so he just lets them leave.
The end.
The end. I mean, it's fun and all, but it was just so much weird stuff.
Yeah.
And then there's problems that are even still happening, like Bruce Banner's not hulking, and his brain's still
I want to know what happens
fading.
after this book, is what I want.
And then all that, I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
I want to know what's happening between this book, too, because, like, what's it, out of the Avengers, like, Vision and
Scarlet
a couple
Witch and
a
some
couple other
others.
people didn't go into the Secret Wars, so they're just like, well, I guess everybody just left the planet, whatever, all of our major heroes, I guess we better
And
protect
that
them.
suburb of Denver.
Yeah. Oh, and, what's her name?
Oh,
That
Mockingbird?
Mockingbird. Hawkeye was marrying.
Also, did they say that guy's name?
I don't know.
I don't know who that guy is. It's an art thing, and I know it's a visual, but he's like got red hair, like.
And then a pretty much like a red suit with white. I don't know. It's so weird.
I'll pass it over to you then. I don't know what the.
I don't know who he is.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe if we read those books
Instead of just going by the one.
reading the last 2 pages of the issues before Secret Wars, whatever.
Meh.
Meh, whatever. Yeah, I want to know what's happening on Earth. Like, do they immediately come back? What's happening to Denver?
Is Denver still in space?
But I mean,
I have no idea who that is.
Like, I mean, Denver, like, just snaps out of existence at one point one day. Like, do the rest of the Avengers freak out? Or are they trying to figure out where Denver went? Like,
nobody noticed.
Because it's just a suburb of Denver. No.
I don't know.
The world was a better place.
Wow, I really... Stop insulting the citizens of Denver.
No, the citizens of the suburb of Denver.
Oh my god.
The world would be a better place if they took Brian's opinions.
And used it to make a
Miss
plan.
Marvel's so good.
Yeah, it was very
I'm
good.
just kidding.
I don't...
No.
See, now that we've discussed it more, I don't know about my rating.
Yeah, I know. Like, it's so...
I was feeling like I really...
It's such an anticlimactic ending to a whole thing.
I can't believe you guys missed, like, all of the actual problems with this book. And
I did not. I didn't miss it. No.
No, like the Doctor Doom thing in the beginning where he's like, I'm going to go tell everybody. No, they'll never understand. And just immediately, switch flips. All of those issues and problems and things that are legitimate this time. It's not me making them up. It's not me seeing things in a weird, different way. These are things that happened. And yet I'm going to be more accepting of them than you guys, I think.
See,
now that I've brought them up.
I don't know, because my whole thing was I always saw that as he just trusted no one but himself and the sound maniac that he found in Galactus's McDonald's tunnels. But
does that mean that Klaw's like that weird kid who's always just in the tunnels and doesn't come out and you're not sure where his parents are?
Pretty much. Like, I don't... Great, now I don't know what to rate this book. Shoot.
It's such a weird, because it's so weird because it starts out, and yeah, like, the beginning couple issues are just heroes attack, villains attack, heroes attack, villains attack. And then it starts to go, Galactus is doing poop, we should probably fix that. And then it goes, Dr. Doom did things, we should probably fix that. Okay, well, we fixed the thing, there was an initial problem, but we're not gonna fix that, so we'll just go back home, see you later. Like, little weird.
Yeah. I didn't realize how anticlimactic. I think I was just kind of glad that it stopped. Not in a bad way, but just in a... There was a lot of pages in it.
You flip the next page, you're like, it's over!
Yes! I can think about it now. I really think that's what happened. I also got very distracted by the fact that they were just like, Colossus all mopey and my true love, blah, blah, blah.
He was super mopey.
Hey! That dragon! Oh, he found another one! From where? Are you taking it home? Oh, look, it snuck in the beam. Well, I'm sure that won't have any negative repercussions.
Somebody comes back as a dragon person. I know how teleportation works in sci-fi.
I've seen The Fly.
Yeah, I don't know. It's still a fun book. I can't say I hate it. It's just there's a lot of plot holes.
There's just a lot of it. It could be a lot shorter.
It could be a lot shorter.
But again, I feel like there was a lot of really strong characters in it, though.
Yeah, no, I did like the characters. I like the choices, because there were some... I mean, there was well-knowns and then not... I mean, obviously I wasn't there then, so I don't know who was well-known and not, but, like, stuff that I knew.
Pretty sure Klaw wasn't well-known.
Klaw was not well-known.
No.
Like, Captain Marvel was there, and she was cool. She was kind of off on the sidelines. She-Hulk... I'm trying to think of... Wasp I hadn't read much about, so that was cool to see her.
Yeah.
Yeah, I liked
I
like the choices of characters.
Some good character choices. I liked
the Wrecking Crew.
The Wrecking Crew was great. They actually came one of the closest to actually killing someone.
Yeah.
When they attacked Wasp in the swamp with the lizard there.
Yeah. And then Johnny gave her life force for... Well, I don't know how
that all worked because she was still sort of... I don't know. But I also really liked the Volcana Molecule Man bits.
Yeah.
Like, that
was weird.
It was weird, but I liked them.
Absorbing Man and Titana or whatever were kind of
interesting.
Maybe getting together. I don't know. It was weird.
I don't know. He kept. If he stopped saying chauvinist things, I think it probably would have gone a little bit better for him.
Yeah.
He kept calling her legs, which I'm like, I don't know if you can do that. He's like, stop doing that. You're making me uncomfortable.
People kept saying turkey. That was another one. I was like, okay.
Yeah, can we say?
They were like that turkey. I'm like, oh.
Are we allowed? Can we touch that? Like, yeah, I don't know what to do with this anymore.
I don't know.
I don't know if I can rate it anymore.
Pretty dated.
I'm pretty good on mine.
I'm also trying to think of what.
I'm trying to remember what I gave other books because I'm trying to rank them in my head. And
Yeah,
I'm like, but our 5 scale is more recent, and like, I don't know.
I mean, I might go down to like a 3. I'm trying to think of a rating system. That's the other thing that I'm like stuck on.
Well, should I go then?
Go.
We'll
Yeah, you go for it. Yeah.
Go for
All right, we'll go out of order. I thought the book, like the first half of the book, was really good. It kept good pace and things kept going.
Yeah.
And then the second half of the book, a couple characters got a little whiny. Colossus. And other than that, it just kind of meandered. And then the ending was, I don't want to say anticlimactic, but it just kind of cut off. And it's like, all right, well, let's cut our losses and go home. So I give this 3 Doctor Doom origin stories out of 5.
I like it. That's a good one.
It's like a Family Guy episode where they would start with one problem and then
That is exactly what this book is. This book is a Family Guy episode.
It starts with one issue, but then it completely right turns into another issue and never gets rid of the first issue. That was just how the episode
fight
started.
Over and over and over again.
Yeah, nuts.
That is what this is. This is a Family Guy book before Family Guy existed.
I probably are we going completely backwards? Do you want to rate or you know what you're doing?
I usually go second. It's up to you. If you're ready, go.
I think I'm ready. I'll probably drop my rating down to a 3 reiterations of a word by Klaw out of 5. It's like Brian was saying, like for as much as it dragged on, it was well paced. Where I didn't hate the fact that it was so long. I just hated reading so much. Like it's weird. Like there's like when it's like you're reading something, you're like, oh my god, this is so long. Cause like the story's dragging. It wasn't dragging, it was just there was so much of it. But the ending, the fact that the Beyonder got his powers back and everything, and they never were like, man, whatever, we should deal with him.
Should we be concerned about this?
Not at all, nothing.
It's not like he kidnapped us once already.
Yeah, and all the stuff that just didn't make sense, like the Thing turning back and forth, and for some odd reason, Spider-Man having a black suit, but yeah, it was really weird. Klaw did drag it up a bit for me. He was great.
Yeah, Klaw was awesome.
I like Klaw, especially the fact that he still lived as a head after being cut into
Klaw
lenses.
for Infinity Gauntlet, which we need to petition Marvel. He needs to be there.
See, the only problem is I want Doctor Doom, but he's on Paramount. I want Doom.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. I'd watch a Doctor Doom movie. Like it was literally just his point of view on things. I'd listen to a monologue.
Except the new
movie.
Doctor Doom movie because it looks awful.
I don't understand. Is he from another dimension according to that trailer?
I
We're off
don't
topic
know.
again. I'm
I have
sorry.
no idea.
We'll discuss this later. Not mic'd and recorded. But all right. I guess yeah. My problem is, unlike other crossover books, I really liked. Like I don't want to quite say. Character development might not be the right word, but character interactions in this,
Yeah.
as awkward as that one She-Hulk line is, and we keep harping on it, the interactions, for the most part, were really good. The X-Men were a little bit whiny in the beginning.
And in the end, and in the middle.
Okay, the X-Men were pretty whiny, but...
No wonder everybody hates them.
Yeah, I was gonna be like,
they
with that attitude.
They pulled their own weight.
Yeah, they did. But, I really enjoyed that part. Like, I liked, as much as Klaw, I wasn't a fan of the character. The him and Dr. Doom scenes towards the end were interesting. The implied backstory for Titania and Volcana are pretty good. I like the interaction between her.
Characters, yeah, they were good.
There was a bunch. Like the Wasp Lizard relationship was interesting. I would have liked to have seen the book itself. I feel like, just for my own personal, because again, I liked that it was a battle royale thing. and not the fate of the world is at stake
Yeah.
for this, which was also a nice change of pace.
Yeah, because nothing was technically at risk except for their lives, but that was, 10 superheroes out of the millions on the planet. you know,
Right,
like-
yeah, so it was a battle royale book, which I enjoy those kind of things. So now I'm talking it back up again in my brain. I keep going between 3 and a 4. It was a 4 when I said, I'm going to change my rating, and then we talked about how bad, like, the ending was kind of anticlimactic. I'm like, maybe it's a 3. And then I'm talking it back up again. I'm like, yeah, no, you know what this was?
It's
All right.
it's somewhere between. Yeah, like, cause
It's
even
in
though
that
I gave
nebulous
it, even
space.
though I gave it a 3, it's still, it's fun to read.
It's a very
is.
high
Yeah.
3.
All right, I think I may, upon reflection, I may have kind of lowballed Mice Templar a little bit. Maybe a little bit. This one I am going to go, I'm going to stick with what I said earlier and say it's definitely going to be, I'm going to give it 4 crazy Dr. Doom sonic lenses out of 5. Because I did enjoy, I think that it had a lot of really good character interactions and a lot of implied depth that I would like to see expanded upon, and I did like that a lot. I also like there was no big, like, the fate of the galaxy is at stake. Even when Dr. Doom had the power, it wasn't like the fate of the galaxy was at stake.
Yeah.
It was just more, can he handle it? So...
I also enjoy, I know we just rated this and I'm bringing up something from the book. I enjoyed there was a scene where, they were like, oh, we can think things and they happen if we concentrate hard enough. And then Captain America's like, oh, and he takes his shield into another room, but like it's cracked into pieces, so he puts it on, it like fixes it, and then he just sits there and like stares at it, and then it becomes a shield again. And I was like, it was a weird scene. It was just like, he's like, okay, done.
Yeah, as they have like the very intense narration about like, this shield should be like his one friend through the years. It's like, whoa, okay. Captain America, are you alright? Like, do you need a hug?
I know, it was
I feel like
weird.
Captain America needed a hug.
Sorry, that
Yeah.
it popped in my brain because I saw it, and I was like, oh wait.
Yeah, no,
That thing.
you're right. It's worth mentioning.
Okay, so those ratings. Yep.
Yeah,
so
4.
We
Yep,
rated...
yep.
All
Oh,
right.
wow. That was weird. I rated the lowest out of everybody, didn't I?
Yeah,
No, I
that
tied
doesn't-
you.
Oh, yeah.
That's
you
like
did.
3s. I went
Brian was
higher.
like, I love this. 3 out of 5.
I didn't love it.
You've been pretty
I'm not
positive
gonna-
about it.
Yeah, like, I'm not going to let these downsides interfere with the rating. I gave it a 3. Whereas that's more my default starting point. So,
No. It's gotta earn a 3.
all right.
But
To-
no.
To me, I enjoy. Okay, whatever. I think we're good. Okay.
Yeah, I think that's about it. Yeah, no, we're nearing the end.
Next time on As Someone Who Doesn't Read Comics, we will be reading Suicide Squad from the New 52 series.
In Volume 1.
Volume 1, which is, if you're getting issues for some reason, it is issues 1 through 7, not including issue 0.
Yep.
Well, I mean, 1
In
through 7 doesn't include 0.
Yeah, no. Just in case anybody
Oh.
picked it up.
Well,
There was,
because obviously 0 comes after 7 at some point.
Why?
they
Obviously.
released zeros in a weird order.
Why are the comics making numbers not numerical? I don't.
Ask DC. But
I
yeah,
have a lot
so
of
it's
other
issues
questions.
1 through 7 of the New 52 Suicide Squad.
Volume 1. Yep.
Not to be confused with the newest one, which is on shelves now.
The new Suicide Squad?
New 52. No. The Suicide Squad New 52. Volume 1.
When is it just going to be the 52? Because I feel like,
At the same point in time, it's going to be Marvel eventually.
oh my gosh, stop! I can't.
If you've enjoyed listening to us make awful continuity jokes about Marvel now, you can find us using the series of tubes and your wish fulfillment apparently to find us on our Facebook, where we are As Someone Who Doesn't Read Comics. You can follow our Twitter at I Don't Read Comics, our Tumblr at idon'treadcomics.tumblr.com, and you can email us your questions, comments, concerns, problems, and Klaw iterations to idon'treadcomics@gmail.com. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thanks for listening.
And as always, the book was better.